Also, after about 6 to 8 years out in Howland place, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank the committee for placing my name in the Roadbuilders Hall of Fame. I was thinking about, I've thought about this ever since Tim called me 2 months ago. He slept too good at night. I tell you what in the world I'm going to say down here. It's been a long time. But I want to say the wisest man ever said this: 2 is better than 1, and 3 is better than 2. And so what I want to do tonight is talk about not myself, but those that has helped me get to where I am tonight. I'm really appreciative for what people have done. I appreciate all the good compliments that were said here tonight, whether they were true or not. I think about my good friend James Brown, who I run into over 40 years ago. I thought Vince was older than I am, looks like it. But I want to first start, I want to tell you, a lot of folks ask me how I got started in the bridge building. And so I'm going to tell you. Another thing everybody is always asking me is, how did I get the name Tack? So I'm going to tell you that first. Mama named me Tacky, and so I ain't changed much till now. Wanted to know if I was going to preach, and I said, not tonight. Probably need to. But I want to talk about those folks that helped me get here tonight. When I was a 15-year-old boy, and I'm going to talk longer than everybody else. Right? Y'all want to know. So when I was 15 years old, man said, I met Mr. Al Drummond. May not be anybody in here know him. I was only 15 years old. But he worked with M.I. Smith Construction down in Montgomery. They had a contract on the College Chapel Road. You see it now. When you go up Interstate 65, it goes over 65 just before you get to the Jemison exit. Now, he had asked my granddaddy to park his travel trailer in his front yard. And so my granddaddy and me said, okay, that was just about 3 miles from where that bridge was. And so in the summer of that year, when I got out of the 9th grade, I was over in the College Chapel peach orchard picking peaches all day. And when I went over to my grandmother, I was pretty sure to get something to eat. She had a good cookie jar. And cookies was hard to come by that time. But anyhow, when I walked up in the yard that night, that evening, Mr. Al met me right, it wasn't no walkway, but it was a trail. And he looked at me and he said, gimme. That's what they call a man, don't weigh but 130 pounds, they skin and bones. He said, gimme. I want you to go down to that health department in the morning. I want to get you to get you a permit. I'm going to put you to work on that bridge over there, helping me build that bridge. Man, I rushed down there to that health department, got that permit, come back to work, went to work making $1 an hour. You know what? I picked a picture for 50 cents, but that was a big pay raise. You understand what I'm talking about? I worked with that man all that time, went back to school, and when school was out the next year, he was down here, I think on Pike Road, about off 331. He had 2 bridges built down there. I went down there and I helped him build those 2 bridges. The thing about it, we could get them done in 3 months. Moved over here on 85, and I had to go back to school. Next summer, he changed job for some reason, something happened, and he went to work with John Cox. And I called him, and he said, I'm way down here in Cuba, Alabama. I thought, man, that is a long way. But I want you to come down here. I want you to help me. I got a cover down here. I want you to help me build. I said, I'll be right on down. My brother, Ken, was working. Got him a job for somebody else. Fascinating thing about that thing, I borrowed $250 at the Bank Authority to buy me a rattle trap car. Think about this. Well, we worked over there, it rained, it muddy, and didn't get to work about half the time. Finally got that covered in and moved to Camp Hill, Alabama, and started working on a bridge. Well, when it got time to go back to school, I'd had so much trouble with that car, I hadn't finished paying it all, so I had to work an extra week before I went back to school that week. Mom said, ain't you going back to school? I said, yeah, when I get that car paid for, I'm going to go back to school. And so I did. Now another man I want to talk about tonight was very influential and helped me learn a lot, was the smartest bridge man I ever met. He understood how to build a bridge with nothing. And I learned too from him. His name was Mr. Van Quick. I met that man working with John Cox Construction down here in Montgomery, Alabama. Worked for him 4 or 5 years. He later quit, went to work for a company called Harbor Construction. I finished the job he quit on, but man, that was too much of trouble for me. I said, I better work for old Van, so I quit and went to work with him, worked for him for 4, 5, 6 more years with Harbor Construction Company. Y'all want me to keep going, don't you? All right. And about that time, I worked with 2 young men. One of them was Walter Morris, the other was Dick Shea. They decided, well, we're going to go in the bridge building business. So they went in the bridge building business, and I was one of the first men they hired. Carried me up there. I helped Dick Shea build that old parish there on the Red Mountain, over 280 there. In about 9 months, they got this job down there where old James Brown was. That was some of the roughest inspectors in the county, state. They said, Tack, we want you to go down there and build that cover. So I went down there and started building that cover. Had a man named Johnny Franks. I never will forget him. Man, he called me 10 years of my life. You know that? We put steel in and out of that cover till we wore it slap out. And never did it right. I worked with old Dick and Walter for 8 or 9 years. They gave me that job as superintendent. I never will forget it. I appreciate what they've done for me. Without them, I wouldn't be down here tonight. I decided later it'd be time to go somewhere else. So I quit, went down to Opelite. Old Wine down there had some bridges he wanted me to widen. And so I promised him I would. Me and my brother Kelly went down there. Wish I never had a win. It wasn't any trouble to leave him. I ain't gonna call his name. He was all over it. Now, we got on about done with that thing, and I told Kelly, I said, I'm gonna call my good friend Billy and David Averson. I've been working around them a good while, never worked with them. We've done a lot of work together with McDowell and bridges here and there, and they've done covers. I'm gonna see if they're interested in starting up a bridge company. I called them and they said, Tack, come up here, we want to talk to you about it. I went up there and talked to them. That was Tommy Godfrey. I went up there and talked to them, and they was ready to go. I was ready to go. And so after about a year, we formed a company that's called Alabama Bridge Builders. It was owned by me and Kelly, David, Tommy, and Billy Averson. David is here tonight. I want to thank David Averson and Billy Averson for what they done. All the calls of all the people that's helped me. The wise man said this: 2 is better than 1, and 3 is better than 2. And so, if you look out there tonight, I've had a lot of help getting where I'm at. You understand what I'm saying tonight? Thank y'all for your help. Now, that ain't all. I want to thank you. I've worked with the transportation department all my life. First inspector was Forrest Harris. You remember him? He goes way back yonder when I was 15 years old. Out of touch, he was one of the best fellows I ever saw. He come up to me that summer. We was pushing that wheelbarrow. We was rolling that gravel. It was in July, August, and he said, Tack, don't you get too hot. I said, don't worry about me. I've been picking pizzas all my life. Worry about them others. Over the last 35 years, we've had good relations with the Department of Transportation. I want to thank every one of them for how they helped us. My son Casey and my daughter Crystal. You know, I get folks come all the way from Texas just hear me talk. Hey. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. wise man said, 2 is better than 1, and 3 is better than 2. So I got here with a lot of help. Thank y'all.